Hello and welcome to Functional Skills Maths. Today we're looking at a topic of volume, and in particular we're looking at how to calculate the volume of a cuboid. Let me just share my screen with you and we will begin. Okay, so the volume of cuboids. This is a level 1 topic, and it's the first point at which we start really looking at this topic of volume. Now, first of all, volume is the amount of space that a shape occupies. Previously, we've looked at area and perimeter, and we've been dealing with two-dimensional shapes. But now we're actually looking at a three-dimensional shape, and we're thinking about the contents. So, for example, whether that's a swimming pool, and we're thinking about the volume of water that it has, or we're thinking about a cup of tea, perhaps, and how much tea is left in my cup. Or whether we're thinking about the volume of oxygen, it might be in a diver's oxygen tank. Volume is to do with the internal contents of a shape of an object. Now, different shapes require different formulas to calculate their volume. And as I say, we're looking today at cuboids, which is really the foundation of all work on volume. So let's have a look at one. Here we have a cuboid. Cuboid is just a sort of fancy name given to a kind of 3D rectangle, really. It's a box, essentially. You might see them come through all the time. If you're anything like our household, you might get an Amazon package every now and again, or perhaps at Christmas, you might get given a box of something or other. This is a cuboid shape, and the formula for it is length times width times height. So it's very similar to a rectangle, which is just the first two of those, length times width. But because it's now a three-dimensional object, and we've got the height factor as well, we just bring that into the formula and just multiply each by each other. So length times width times height. Now, if we're getting a bit shorthand with our writing, we can just abbreviate that to L times W times H. Or if we're getting proper algebraic fashion, if you've done the algebra session with me or watched the video, then you'll know that we can abbreviate that to the simplest form of LWH, because when symbols are next to each other without any other operation written down, it means that they're multiplying anyway. So length times width times height is the formula for a cuboid. Let's put some measurements on this one so that we can deal with the real example, see what we're looking at. Let's say that it's got a length of 5, width of 5, and a height of 10. So what we do is we do 5 times 5 times 10. That's the formula carried out with these specific numbers. And that comes to 250 centimeters cubed. That little 3 in the top right-hand corner there tells us that we're dealing with volume, means that there are 3 dimensions that we've multiplied by each other. So that's why it's now a 3 when we're dealing with volume and not a 2 like it is with area. Hopefully that's clear so far. Just going to bring up a couple of examples for you to try on the next screen. Here we go. So 3 boxes here. Have a go at the blue one first of all, and see how we get on. I'll give you 10 seconds, but feel free to pause the video. You can use a calculator if you like for this blue box, and we'll take answers shortly. Okay, that's 10 seconds. How did you do? Well, if you got 729 millimeters cubed, you'd be absolutely right. Well done. 9 times 9 is 81, times the other 9 gives us 729. Very good. Let's have a look at the green box, and this time I'd like to try without a calculator. Now, an easy way of doing this is to take off the noughts at the beginning from the 20 and the 50. Just put them onto a shelf for now, and multiply the other dimensions and numbers together. And then once you've got your answer, bring those 2 zeros back from the shelf at the end of your calculation and add them onto the number. and see what you get. We'll run through that in about 10 seconds. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to work that out now. So the answer is 8,000. Now, remembering what I was saying earlier about taking the zeros off, what we can do is do 2 times 5, which is 10, times 8, which is 80, and then bring those 2 zeros back in. So we got another 2 zeros after the 80, which gives us the 8,000 that you see there. Okay, hopefully that's clear. But have another go, same principle, with the orange box on the bottom. Take away the zeros at the beginning, put them on a shelf, work out the other multiplication bits, and then bring the 3 zeros back on later on. I'll give you 10 seconds again. Feel free to press pause, and we'll run through the answer shortly. Okay, so how did you do? You got 20,000 meters cubed, you'd be absolutely right. So what we did is this. I'll just write it out here for you so it's hopefully a little bit clearer. If we take off the 3 zeros, 1 from the 20, 2 from the 200, put them up there over on the shelf, then what we've got in the rest of it is 5 times 2 times 2. Now 5 times 2 is 10, times 2 is 20, 20, and then bring over these 3 zeros from the shelf, and we have 20,000. So that's how we can come to that answer without a calculator. So well done. We've looked today at how to calculate the volume of cuboids. And you can do that now with a calculator and without a calculator in certain instances. Well done. Thank you for watching.